Welcome back, everybody, to more Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Last time, I got my butt handed to me in a lot of trials and intentionally made the game harder for myself. This time, I'm probably going to get my butt handed to me in a few trials and make things harder for myself. Don't worry about it, though. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We won't suffer. Too much, anyway. Okay, stream management. There we go. So now we need to go to the galaxy map. So we can go to Manon, we can go back to Tatooine, we can go to Kashyyyk, we can also go to a space station orbiting Yavin, or we can go to Tatooine. And Tatooine is where we are actually going to go. Uh-oh, we're having another dream. Are you ready? Another star map.
Another vision. The Force is guiding us, helping us retrace the steps of Malak and his old master, leading us ever closer to the Star Forge. Tatooine is known for little but glowing sand. I find it surprising that there would be a star map somewhere in its desolate wastes. A star map would likely have to be within some kind of shelter to protect it against dust and sandstorms. I suspect there are many such caves and caverns hidden in the sands of the Dune Sea. The creatures of this world probably use them as their lairs. No doubt things will become more clear once we discover the star map's location.
Oh boy. The star map's location. So we may as well equip her with a robe that doesn't suck. So I'm going to give her the Jedi Master robe. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, give her a +1 to dexterity, why not? Strength doesn't help him. I can equip 2 computer probes and just super buff his computer use. That's funny. I need to get her access to some, excuse me, some implants. we go. Well, there's some spice in there, alright. So, spice is essentially a drug in this series. In this universe, rather. You can't, like, there's not really anything good you can do about it. It's a special form of drug. I forget exactly what it does, because none of the movies really explained it, and none of the video games that I've messed with have explained it in heavy detail. Largely, I think, because I just haven't really bothered to mess with it. Mission just seems to always be a smart character.
Welcome to Anchorhead, potential customer. Czerka Corporation stands ready to serve. After some formalities, of course. First, your ship is not on our list of planned arrivals for today. There is a docking fee of 100 credits because of this. The immediate benefit is access to these very docking facilities. This is the only port in Anchorhead.
So he's basically trying to extort you just to be able to dock.
We're not unreasonable. We just want to cover expenses. That would be unfortunate. Czerka Corporation can't afford to extend credit. Everyone pays. That's the rule. I'm sorry. While Czerka Corporation would like to encourage interest in our... I assure you that the fee is non-negotiable. We have a very thin margin of profit on this world. That does make sense. I suppose I could let it go this time. We need the business. This will cover any future landings as well. It's like a registration, so we can serve you better when you return. Now, as a customs officer, I can provide information on services. Is this visit business or pleasure?
So before we continue, let's talk a little bit about Czerka Corporation. Czerka Corporation is basically the most corrupt corporation to exist in the Star Wars universe. This guy, you know, you land here in this dock, and it's the only dock on the planet, basically, or the only dock in Anchorhead. And he wants to extort you of 100 credits right away. It's a one-time fee, but he's still extorting you. As far as extortion goes, that's fairly reasonable, even for this game, but I persuaded him out of it because, fuck you. I don't put up with crap like that. Secondly, Czerka Corporation, pretty much every bad thing you can do in these games to a planet itself is usually tied to Czerka Corporation. They work most directly with the Sith, providing them logistical support, supplies, weapons, all kinds of stuff for their military forces. They'll even supply them ships. They work here on this planet. They are basically invading the Tusken Raiders or Sand People's sacred areas very readily without any real care because they think they can scrounge out a profit mining specific minerals out of it. And the Tusken Raiders are constantly trying to attack them because of this. We'll find this out here in just a bit, but that's one of the really big deals with this planet that we kind of have to solve if we want to find the star map. And that kind of explains why a lot of Sand People don't really like the native, or not really the natives, because they are the natives. They don't like a lot of off-worlders. It's because most off-worlders behave like this. Or basically shove them over and then take over areas that they find sacred because of their rituals. The Sand People are very violent, backwards, cultural thinking. They're very spiritualistic. The reason why I say backwards is because scientifically speaking, they're not very advanced. They don't have much of a technological base. They're very spiritual, they're very cultural, but they're also extremely territorial. And when I say extremely, they'll even kill each other over territories that they value extremely highly, if they need to. And we'll see a little bit about that later.
There isn't much to tell. It's a very old planet, well past its prime. Czerka Corporation is the only company with any interest in it. It's not a very pretty world, but there is opportunity here if you know where to look. I can't really get into that. It hasn't been a very smooth operation. I shouldn't get into it. No, it's common knowledge, so there's no harm in telling you. It's a tale of bad business. You see, Czerka Corporation staked their claim to this planet based on some very promising geological surveys. Unfortunately, that information was incorrect, and possibly even an attempted sabotage by a rival company. Not totally barren. There were a few good years of mining, and limited operations are still in place. But the ore is flawed. It has peculiar properties. They've had to look at other forms of business. Czerka Corporation has really tried to hide this, but it just seems that Tatooine metal is unfit for effective manufacturing. I would imagine that this outpost will eventually be abandoned. Nobody is making any money here. Of course, this rock may have been settled a few times, so look for some other company to get stuck with it. Pursuits that appeal to the casual traveler. There are some fearsome native species that provide exciting hunting. There are also lengthy barren wastes that serve as fine swoop tracks. Attracting business has been slow, however. Very little. There are hints that it might once have been a lush world, but I can't picture it as anything but a desert. Native sentient species have no records going back that far. That was hundreds of years ago, maybe thousands. Of course, the native species are not very willing to tell anyone anything. They're barely more than animals. The Sand People. They're vicious and attack outsiders on sight. More animal than anything, really. Maybe they know the history of Tatooine. Maybe they don't. Impossible to tell. They won't cooperate. Not personally, but they've given Czerka Corporation a rough time. It's hard enough mining this rock without suffering random attacks. I think the company has even put a bounty on them, but I'm sure not going to try for it. It depends on what level of risk you want to take. You could ask at the Czerka office if any bounties need collecting. That's in the central anchorhead. While you're at the office, ask for a hunting license so you can sell trophies to Faza in his lodge, just north of them. I suppose you could also take up swoop racing. Talk to the hut at the registration office by the track. That's in West Anchorhead. I can't say I know which of these jobs is the most dangerous. I stay away from all of them. That's not much information. Could you tell me more? You a digger? I've heard of ruins being found now and then, but they've always been stripped by Sand People soon after. You're not going to get anywhere with them. I guess you could ask around, but I doubt you'll learn anything different. You could always ask a Jawa. It's hard to tell what they know. As you wish. If you need anything else, I'll be here.
Hello, Pebbles. Sorry guys, my cat's interrupting my stream again. She's being a bugaboo. That's what she do. Buff his con. We'll buff the dex next if he gets enough levels for me to do that. Battle droid logic upgrade. So when he's been getting these, what's been happening is his base defense has actually been increasing by 2 points an upgrade. And we're getting him toughness because he really needs the durability. Like, anything you can do to make your astromech tougher is what you should be doing. Droid upgrade class 3. I believe what that means is that he is now capable of equipping some of the better and heavier kinds of armor and equipment. Like, we just gave him Type 3 heavy droid plating. And now that he has improved 2-weapon fighting, he's actually capable of dual-wielding pistols relatively effectively. Which is good, because that's what we want. We'll give him a Mandalorian heavy pistol to go with his heavy blaster. That's right, she's also using a Mandalorian pistol. Yeah, Czerka Corporation is not a very good corporation. They're extremely... Like, think of the most soulless corporation you could conceivably imagine, and you might be tempted to say something like EA or Ubisoft or Activision. Magnify that by about 5,000, and that's pretty much how Czerka Corporation goes. They don't just have, like, bad sexual harassment claims. They don't just have bad microtransaction deal setups. They don't just have jacked up prices. No. These people will pay credits just to have other people killed. What? Kiska. I love how the game just allows me to rob this guy. He's got some life support packs. Sure, I'll take those. He sells infinite advanced med packs. So now I'm just going to sell the basic ones, because at this point basic med packs actually don't help you. They provide too little of a health restore to save you anymore. Yusani's brand. Oh, that's actually a really good double-bladed sword. Yusani's was one of the most famous Echani warriors, fighting against oppression and villainy throughout until encountering Darth Revan. Discovering that Revan had killed an Echani senator, Yusanis attempted to tell authorities, but fell to the powers of the Sith Lord despite his own impressive abilities and the cortosis weave inherent in all Echani vibroblades. So, cortosis is a material that has recently come under some contention. It's come under contention for a frickin' reason. First of all, cortosis is an extremely rare material in the Star Wars universe. It's not such a rare material that obviously you can't get your hands on it and lace weapons with it. But it has a number of problems. And before we continue, I may as well get into that now. Cortosis weave has several major issues. Number one, it's an extremely brittle metal or mineral. I forget which one exactly it is, but it is a very brittle material. So by itself, it doesn't work very well as a form of protective material. Two, and this is kind of the bigger problem with it, it's extremely difficult to make any sort of weapon or armor out of it that lasts because of its brittle state, and it's not easy to mix into other materials. You can lace another material into it you can lace it into other materials using what's known as the cortosis weave process, but this is also expensive. Lastly, cortosis is extremely expensive to mine because this mineral is so hard and restrictive that you actually have to mine it in very specific ways. A little bit like diamonds, it's extremely difficult to mine, largely because it's a hard mineral that most drills and whatnot and other stuff tend to not penetrate it very well, or shake it or break it apart very well, because it's extremely resistant to sonic vibrations, as well as almost totally immune to any form of laser or energy weapon. So unlike diamonds, you can't cut it with a laser. It actually blocks blaster bolts extremely effectively, and it's a type of armor that a lot of people really want to get a hold of because it's a really good armor system when you lace it into a good material that can actually handle the weave. The bigger problem... Pebbles, lay down. The bigger problem that you have with it is that when you weave it into something, the strength level of the weave is variable. To a point, this weave cannot be particularly effective. It's a useful weave, to be sure, and it's definitely one of the better things to have. But there are some problems with it. And the biggest problem with the weave is that in the case of vibro swords, most vibro swords and long swords in this series, those have a level of cortosis weaved into them. They have just enough that a lightsaber or a blaster is not going to cut the sword in half or break it apart. Oh, great. 3 bots in a row. All one right after the other. Sorry about that, folks. Anyways, where was I? Oh, yes. It's not going to cut the sword in half, or a blaster bolt's not going to hit it and then superheat it, and then, you know, now the blade's brittle so it cracks and then breaks after a couple more swings. The cortosis weave used in most vibro weapons allows them to be able to go toe-to-toe with a lightsaber without immediately getting cut to pieces. That is essentially what it is. Like, that's what it can let you do. But also you can buy Gizka poison from this guy and it'll just kill the frickin' Gizka on your ship if you don't know what to do with the damn things. But, this guy actually sells some really freaking good weapons. I kind of want this carbine, because this is a really good carbine. I could probably upgrade it, but 9,000 credits, that's a really steep price. Usanus Brand is actually an incredibly good double-bladed melee weapon, but again, that's a lot of credits to demand. The Mandalorian Heavy Repeater is nice, but it's not upgradable. So it'll ultimately be worse than Ordo's Repeating Blaster. I apologize. Also, let's double check my sell list. I could buy a few more advanced med packs. As you can see, for some reason, Jedi robes don't sell for very much. I don't know why, but they don't. I'm going to sell these combat suits because they're really weak. This Masasi ceremonial armor, though, immunity to critical hits, that's actually pretty freaking good. The other thing about cortosis weaving, you can weave it into armor and it'll prevent the it basically prevents a lightsaber from immediately cutting you in half, but repeated strikes will break apart the weave, and sooner or later it will cut you apart, and that's kind of... I think that's what Disney was trying to do when they made the red armored warrior guards in the sequel trilogy. They were trying to produce a warrior wearing armor that would be able to handle the punishment of a lightsaber hitting it. The problem is that they didn't explain themselves very well when they did that, number one. And number two, the armor's protectability was literally all over the place the entire fucking movie. There were a lot of instances where, like, it just didn't, like, sometimes it would work really well and protect them. Other times it wouldn't work for shit and they would just die right away. If you are that, like, I don't know, inconsistent, I guess would be the appropriate term. If you're that inconsistent with it, you may as well just not employ it at all. But I think what that was you could also chalk that up to the quality control of that item being bad. And you can chalk that up to bad quality control for a few things. Reason one, if the First Order probably didn't have nearly as good supply dealers as the Empire did, because the Empire actually had control of the galaxy and those guys didn't. But even chalking it up to that, my thought process is just like, just don't do that. Particularly with what Acolyte tried to do. It was the one thing that I say the one thing. It got about 2 or 3 things right. I should be fair to it in that regard, if I'm going to critique it. But it was one of the few things that TV series actually got correct was, hey, this is actually a thing, and you should consider it. But the problem is that their execution of it was terrible, and the show itself was so bad that absolutely nobody was willing to put up with the very idea that that could have even been remotely, viable or even acceptable. So that's kind of why it probably fell through. I don't care how few, things you do actually get correct. If you get the vast majority of your shit wrong, then who the hell wants to actually bother with you when you actually get something correct? And to be fair, the vast majority of everything they did, they got terribly wrong.
Will you help me? I'll try not to take up too much of your time. I realize that everyone's out for themselves on Tatooine. My husband was a hunter, killed out on the dunes. This raid plate is all I have left. Please, will you buy it? I don't need a handout. I just can't sell it to Faza without a license. Please, I'm worried about having it. They're so rare. It's the bone plate from the head of the desert raid. My husband was so proud when he found it. He had just started hunting. He said he felt sure the next hunt would bring in more, so we waited to sell this one. Then he never came back. Will you buy it? You will? Oh,
I'm gonna look this up, actually. Is she actually telling the truth about this raid plate? Okay, so looking at this, honestly, what she wants to do is she wants to sell a raid plate that I can sell for 500 credits, but I need a hunting license from Czerka to do that.
Wow. For whatever it means. May the
Force be with you. You've saved us.
Get lost, Tenderfoot. I hunt desert. Well, you sure know how to get on my good side. You're just trotting out bantha pats, but thanks all the same. My name is Doric Quinn. I'm a hunter. I hunt. Is that enough, or should I start listing my family birthdays? If I knew the best place, why would I tell anyone? It would be worth too much to me to let it get out. It doesn't matter anyway. This season has been dry for me, as it has for almost everyone. Perhaps someone else is holding out, but there's simply fewer raid out there.
Do not bite my arm.
It used to be a one-on-one test. Hunter against hunted. Now people just want the credits. I could stomach maybe a pair or a team of
Do
hunters.
not bite my arm.
Some now use battle droids. Where's the sport in that? That's not for me to say. I won't be a troublemaker in so small a community. You'll see. Hunt, and you will see. I've tracked wild beasts my whole life, but I've only been hunting here for 5 years. I've much to learn yet. There are hunters that go after the big kills, the crate dragons. I don't know how they do it. I never even see the things. Comad is the one I respect, but I also trust that the only difference between us is experience. I will learn. I don't go telling stories about other people. You want to know what they think? You go talk to them.
I like this guy.
Watch yourself around the Gamorreans. Gurk and his buddies aren't to be trusted. Everyone else I respect because they have skill. Those guys, they go for easier prey.
I don't tell stories about other people, but don't trust the Gamorreans. All of a sudden, I don't like this guy. Hypocrisy at its finest, ladies and gentlemen.
Just watch your back when you hunt. The dragons aren't the only dangers out there. If that... Good hunt.
You'll show me respect, I demand it.
What can I do for you? Did my wife send you? This ain't about credits, is it? Oh, of course. Who put you up to this, my wife? I meant what I said about having no credits. Well, my name is Tanis, and what I do is hunt. I'm sure you've heard of me. Well, actually, I hope you haven't. There isn't any. Too many hunters, not enough prey. I can barely keep expenses covered. Maintenance on battle droids is expensive. Of course, it's better than going alone. What if I stumbled on a bunch of sand people? These solo hunters are crazy. What do I care? I need to eat. I also need to pay for parts so the wife can keep the droids running. It's all about the credits. Some guys will talk about honor. I suppose, but so what? When that resource goes belly up, I'll just move on. I'm just a wandering spirit, I guess. I'm not real popular with the others, but they just fool themselves. They're in it for the credits, too.
So this guy basically runs a hunting lodge. You can go out hunting monsters and you can get, pieces off of them that you can actually sell for credits. It's a surprisingly lucrative business. Cantina, droid shop, Dune Sea. I actually think I want to go to the droid shop because if I remember correctly, a particular character that I really want to meet is up here. That's the swoop registration for swoop bike races. Oh, God!
Lord Malak was most displeased when he learned you had escaped Taris alive. He has promised a great reward to whoever destroys you.
I totally fucking forgot these assholes. Quit trying to suck the life out of my allies, you dick. Force Valor, ladies and gentlemen. Don't ever forget it. It helps you win those. Sith Assassin Pistol. Ooh, I got a Demeaned Crystal. I wonder what that does. Red Lightsaber Crystal. Oh, a short lightsaber! That's a very good find. Particularly... Ooh, there's his double-bladed lightsaber. Yes! Okay. So the short lightsaber is actually an extremely useful find because that... if you're a dual wielder and you use a balanced weapon offhand, it gives you a +2 in your offhand to hit to make it easier for you to actually hit your target with your offhand blade. The only problem with short lightsabers is they do slightly less damage than a regular, but you can still survive just fine without it. Like, you don't need that heavier hit on your second attack. I was hoping there might be a workbench in this cantina, and there's not. There's characters we can talk to, and I'll get to them, maybe, if I feel like it. A lot of these side quests in here are not bad and actually have a lot of character to them. I just don't care about them that much. That's just me, though. Well, aren't you an asshole? Ain't that guy a bundle of frickin' joy? Now, is this the droid shop that has... Yes, it is! I just took possession of it in HK-47. It's a fine protocol translator! Damn it. So yeah, I just lost $4 grand in credits to buy HK-47. It's not the end of the world, though. And trust me, it's actually worth it. I am going to buy some repair parts. And a couple of computer spikes. I feel like I could actually sell a few of these pieces of armor that I have. That Masasi armor is not bad, but eh. It's only so good. Senegar Warsuit, not really that useful. Light battle armor, meh. Mandalorian battle armor, that's decent? Kinda. Nagasato's Poison Blade is actually a really good sword. I'm gonna hold on to that. I don't understand why the Silverline sword has no value. Neither does that Vibro sword. Weird. Sell the Ion Blaster. Sell the Ion Rifle. That's not a bad carbine. It's not that good either, though. And you'll notice my credits are pretty high again. Alright.
Statement. I see you have purchased me, Master. I find this a satisfactory arrangement. My restraining bolt will be deactivated when you take possession of me. Am I to accompany you now? Shall I kill something for you? Statement. I will enter into your service now, Master. I am certain you will make adequate use of my primary functions. My gears are practically quivering with anticipation.
HK-47. Oh, HK. Let's talk about HK-47 for a minute. Droid upgrade class 2. So, HK-47 is an assassin droid. HK, it may already be very obvious, HK stands for Hunter Killer. So, it should already be blatantly fucking obvious that HK is not your typical droid. He also comes with a weapon focus in blaster rifles, so do not underestimate his offensive combat potential. He's got a lot of it. We're going to up his demolitions and repair skills with time. We don't really need to up his awareness, largely because my awareness is fine. I want his repair as high as it can get because he needs to be able to heal himself very effectively. He's got 16 strength. I don't really know why he has 16 strength. Actually, let's go back and double check that attribute. Yeah, no, I did want to up his con. I will probably up his intelligence as well. Logic upgrade, class 2. We're going to get him his tier 3 toughness so that he can actually tank a little bit before he dies. That's very important for virtually every character. Toughness is like one of those universal feats. Okay. So we're going to get him a basic targeting computer. It's not really going to help him because it works on blaster pistols. Security, domination interface. He doesn't really need this because he doesn't have good security skills. We're going to go ahead and equip him with light plating type 3. Oh, really? Okay, so he actually does lose a couple of points of accuracy if you do that. That's not really a big deal. He doesn't really need a shield disruptor. We're going to use a flamethrower because a lot of the fighting that we'll be doing is against organics. He handles that incredibly well, by the way. That's not really a problem. We're going to give him a level 2 energy shield. Weapons. He comes equipped with a blaster rifle standard. You will very quickly see me get rid of this weapon in favor of something that is just better. Like this Sith blaster rifle. The Sith sniper rifle. He can use heavy repeating blasters if you really want him to. You probably won't want him to. It's not really the best thing to do with him. But it is, again, it's an option. You can get him the feats for it later if you really want. He gets a few less feats than you might necessarily think he gets. I kind of want to give him the Sith Assault Gun for right now, but we're going to stick with that Sith Sniper Rifle because it's got better crit. HK-47 is a psychopath. It is literally a droid programmed to be a psychopath.
I have always been hostile. Now that I need no longer rely on you and your primitive maintenance skills, I do not need to hide it.
Well, he's got Type 2 heavy plating. I could buy that. And he's got advanced targeting computers, which could be useful. Not majorly. Sensor probe, that would actually be good because that would up his demolitions. That would buff his awareness. Now let's get him the demolitions booster. And Type 2 heavy plating. Realize that's an expensive buy, don't worry. And I will buy another stun ray and... Oh, wow, Jesus, that's triple the cost? Damn. For a +5 DC increase? And nothing else? Ow. You're a fucking ripoff.
Acknowledgement!
Acknowledgement! There we go, get him some good AC. Now he's got 28 AC. Jesus, he has better... They both have better AC than I do! What is this bullshit? Yeah, HK-47 is a psychotic assassin droid. So, if you're wondering why that guy probably wanted to get rid of him, that's why. HK-47 is an extremely dangerous piece of equipment. But he's also one of the funniest characters that you will ever meet, just because the whimsical nature with which he speaks of blasting something to pieces is unbelievably funny. I'm sorry, I can't. I'm remembering some of his dialogue from KOTOR 2, and it's amazing. We'll talk about that when we get to it. I don't want to talk too much about it beforehand. Okay, yeah, this is the Czerka office. I'm gonna go here in order to get my hunting license, so I can profit off of that freaking raid thing that I sold. Yeah, I'll sell the regular Jedi robe. I'll sell the Mandalorian battle armor too. I'm just getting a lot of really good stuff. Krath Warblade. Lightsabers can only be wielded by Force sensitives, by the way. This game will not allow you to give one to somebody who is non-Force sensitive. Is that upgradable? Oh, wow. That's no, but it's balanced, and it's actually got a ton of bonuses to it. Wow. That's a really good pistol. Yeah.
Can I help you? If this is about employment, I'm afraid all regular mining positions are full. And before you ask, we are also no longer selling hunting licenses. As I said, we are no longer selling them. There are too many... Well, normally we charge 200 credits, but I could make an exception if you agreed to perform a task for us. It's similar to hunting. The Sand People are becoming a problem. They destroy our sand crawlers and kill our miners. One particular tribe is the worst. It's as if their chieftain has decided to wage war against us. I would like their attacks terminated. Bring me their gaffy sticks as proof. If you agree to do this, I'll give you a hunting license now and pay a bounty for each stick later. I'll give a bonus for the chieftains. Which would you rather have dumped on your office floor? Besides, they're ceremonial weapons, unique to each warrior. It's just as good. Excellent. Here's your license. You might try following one of our sand crawlers. They're regularly attacked. I wouldn't mind you escorting them. Griff? There's no Griff here. Never heard of him. No, I don't remember a single Griff on the Czerka Corporation payroll. Oh, you mean that Twi'lek? Must have slipped my mind for a second. Yes, of course I remember Griff. We hired that Twi'lek some time ago. Not a good worker, according to his crew chief. Always complaining and faking injuries to get out of work. He entered false timesheets and slept through his shifts. We even suspected him of stealing Czerka Corporation supplies, although we could never prove it. We would have fired him, but we needed workers. It would have been better for him if he had been fired. Then the Sand People wouldn't have gotten him. He was lost in a Sand People raid we suffered not too long ago. There were prisoners taken, but our rescue parties never found anyone alive. In the end, it just wasn't cost-effective to keep searching. All miners sign a waiver absolving Czerka Corporation of liability in these circumstances. Czerka Corporation cares deeply for all of its employees. That's why we've started a bounty program to thin the Sand People numbers.
If you actually cared, you would have these bounties arranged to go after and rescue your employees.
This is all privileged corporate information. I could lose my job. As I said, all employees have signed waivers absolving Czerka Corporation of any financial liability if this occurs. It is the industry standard.
No, it's not. That's a lie.
Special dispensation from the Czerka Corporation representative kiosk on Coruscant. Business hours only, please. Farewell.
Now I have a hunting license. So yeah, this is something that the Czerka Corporation don't bother to tell you about what they're doing. They actually were being pretty just, I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want to this entire situation. And they kind of just threw themselves down on this planet and started digging it up. Digging it up. Didn't really stop to think to check for local populations that might have relative levels of intelligence and whether or not they should even be here. So that's why the Sand People started attacking them like crazy. Okay, those two didn't get lost somewhere. Oh god, I ran away from the hunting lodge. I need to go sell that thing to get some credits. Actually, no I don't. I'm gonna go out into the desert and I'm gonna do a lot of hunting. I'm gonna get a lot of gaffy sticks and stuff.
No one leaves Anchorhead without proper authorization. Well, let's see it. All right, I'll just scan that and you're off. I'll keep it on file, too. Good luck out there.
Thanks, Dick.
Hello there. You're heading out into the desert? You're a hunter, right? You must be if you've been allowed to leave Anchorhead. When you see Tanis, and I know you old boys always stick together, tell him his wife hopes he enjoys the anniversary gift. You're just another of his buddies from that hunting club. I know your kind. You all cover for each other, I bet. Well, he can do what he wants. He'll get what he deserves. I bought my own license just so I could see that he did. Oh, I'm through planning. I just left him a little mess that he has to take care of. If he's smart, he'll be just fine. But he's not smart. Oh, I'll be long gone soon enough. The next shuttle to anywhere, really. I've had it with cleaning up his messes, repairing his droids. If he lives, he can try and get by on his own. I doubt he'll last long with no one to listen to his lies. I'm sure you do. Like I...
So, yeah, that guy Tanis we met, his wife wants to kill him. She just got tired of taking care of him. Which, babe, there are much healthier ways to, oh, I don't know, divorce your husband than violent, savage murder. Or planned sociopathic killing. But, apparently she doesn't believe in that. This frickin' game. You'll notice my blue lightsaber almost looks white because of the light of the sun and the bright atmosphere and colors around it. I'm just doing this to reveal the edges of the map. And then I'm going to start running around on the insides and gathering quest materials and stuff wherever I can. The Czerka marker posts largely exist for you to be able to know where the edge of the map is and try not to venture out beyond it, because if you do, you'll die in the desert. Oh, there's a lot of sand people here.
Master?
Yes.
And apparently they're not that durable. Or accurate. Okay, their elites are kind of cranky. Oh, and there's more of them.
Sure.
Well, that's a problem.
Yes?
He tried to throw a grenade at me. Advanced med pack, Bantha fodder. Let's pick up some alien animal poop. She walked into the fucking mine. God damn it, kid.
Yeah?
Yes?
Ready.
What?
So that leads directly to Sand People territory. You might want to be careful about that. So there's some raids out here. We now see that these are originally a species native possibly to Tatooine, possibly to Korriban. But you can harvest their skull plates. Well, that's not what I wanted to happen, but sure, game, why not?
Someone's gonna get hurt.
Damn, okay. Everyone died. Oh my god. Okay. So I got killed by the raids, which was a little stupid. Those things are actually more dangerous here than they were on Korriban. I really want to know what caused all of those sand people to just appear and start attacking Mission, because that was weird. They seem to just keep coming out of nowhere and attacking them. And I don't know why. And they wouldn't stop until the Elite Warriors were dead. That didn't happen to me, as far as I can tell, in previous playthroughs. Although I admit, in previous playthroughs, I got ambushed by them randomly a lot. There's two major ways you can solve this problem, by the way. You can kill all the sand people, and I mean all of them, which in one of my playthroughs I did. And I did, not because I wanted dark side points. or even because I was a dark side character. I did it because when I asked them to stop attacking the Czerka Corporation in exchange for water evaporators, moisture evaporators that they would need to get out of the region and find a new home for themselves, their response was, okay, we'll reduce the attacks on the Czerka Corporation, but we won't stop. Excuse me? Who do you think you're talking to? If you don't make some attempt to communicate, you shouldn't be surprised that violence occurs. Nope, there's two more. They just sort of appeared out of the ether. That one threw a cryo grenade at us.
Ready.
Okay, that stopped the elite warriors from overrunning them. Stopped them from getting overrun by the elite warriors, I should say.
Huh?
Mission. Why are you glitched? There. I told you to disarm the mine, not detonate it! Oh, thank God.
Yeah?
I ran out of health. What's up, jerk? How you doing?
Yes?
How's my favorite moderator? And slash only mod. Why do the elite warriors have bantha shit? Basic med pack. Droid light plating, repair kits, parts. Nondescript tire noises. Yeah. You do a lot, man. Like, you work yourself to the bone. It's not surprising to me that you're exhausted all the time. Honestly, I'm surprised you don't have a bank account with like $50 million in it by now. But how do I know that you don't have that, right? I'm doing this to bait him over here. And it didn't work. 45 minutes ago and said, no, I don't think so. Yeah! That sounds about right. There we go, let's get this way. I'm trying to get it so that I only have to fight one at a time, and it looks like I failed miserably. Not energy resistance. It would be better if I would remember to actually pause when I'm doing this. There we go, get the raids. I ended up not having to fight all of them at once, but I did end up having to fight a steady stream of them. They went down a little bit easier this time, and I don't know what the cause of that might have been. I think it's just that they didn't overwhelm me all at once and then start beating somebody to death when they were on half health instead of full health. Refuse piles.
Don't let me die under here. Please help! I can't get out. 3, 2, 1.
Oh! Uh-huh. Fight a crate dragon. No. No balls. So, it's good that you brought up the crate dragon, because, I'm gonna let you know about something about the crate dragon. You literally cannot fight a crate dragon in this game. You can encounter one. And if you wake it up without having a specific thing set up, to deal with it, the game will auto-kill you because it woke up and came after you. The game doesn't actually allow you to try and fight the crate dragon.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'll show you what a real crate dragon looks like, though, when I do it. The Mandalorian tried to show what they thought a crate dragon should look like. It was that gigantic fucking worm thing. Crate dragons don't fucking look like that in this game. I actually like what they look like in this game a lot better, because they don't look like a giant tentacled sandworm that rips off of Tremors. Instead, they look like a bearded dragon that is about the size of Anguirus from the Godzilla universe, the Chinese, or not China, the Japanese Toho universe. And yeah, that motherfucker's really big. He just kind of casually bites you and swallow you whole. But yeah, if you try to fight the crate dragon without a very special thing set up, the game just auto murders you. It gets up, yawns, walks up to you, or walks towards where your party is supposed to be, and then you just die. And I know that because I have tried to fight it in the past. The game lets you know how stupid that is by just auto-killing you for trying. So, yeah, Tanis, his wife, she tried to kill him. Well, here's how she tried to kill him. Here are his battle droids.
Could you help? I seem to be, doomed. Hey there, thanks for stopping. I appreciate it. I've been stuck without water for hours. Wasn't looking good. Oh, hey, it's you. I remember. Well, it would appear that I worn out my welcome with my wife Marlena. She fixes my droids. Fixed them good this time.
Commentary. One would hope the female is better at repairs than Yukalaka. I still would like to crush his neck, Master.
I triggered some sort of trap she programmed. She probably figured I wouldn't be smart enough to get out. Yeah, she was right. The wife put a kink in my battle droids. They're in some sort of discharge loop. And if I move from this spot, they're threatening to blow up. She knew I wouldn't know how to fix them. Did you try to do some repairs? They don't care if you move. It's just me who's stuck.
Commentary. I say we blast the meat bag and save you the trouble, Master.
What's with all the droids lately? My wife get to you too?
just don't like organic meat bags. Except for the master, of course.
I really appreciate a bit of help. Please? Just access each droid's repair interface. You'll have to do some tinkering, but be careful. One explosion I can survive. Any more than one and I'm dead. Oh, and ignore the message Marlena left in there. No way do I deserve this, I swear.
Somehow I think you kind of had this coming to some degree, but I think he's right. Nobody deserves to have this happen to them.
Having fun on the dunes, Tanis? I made sure you would. Here's the deal. Your precious droids have trapped you. They'll hold you until you die of thirst. Make a mistake while repairing them, they explode. Have a good death. My mother was right about you.
Right.
Huh?
I could get some parts from those
That was
droids.
unpleasant. Thanks for your help. I'd have been a goner. Hey, and the old bat thought I was dead. Never asked me for
Okay, Jigsaw! Yeah, exactly! She basically rigged these things to explode and then put puzzles in them if you wanted to fix them.
Thanks again. I doubt any of those uptight hunters would have helped, and I doubt the wife is coming back. I'm heading back to the shop. I hope she left the manuals for these things behind. Ungrateful little...
400 credits, some EXP. Always nice.
Out of nowhere they came.
Who are you? It doesn't matter. Can you handle a blaster? It may attack again at any second. I doubt we could hold out on our own against another wave of them. You would be right. Came out of nowhere. Wait, damn it. Here they come again. How did it do that?
It's called camouflage, and they know the terrain. Idiot. Yeah, she just decided to kill her husband in a Jigsaw manner. That's definitely not the way I would want to go. Leave the miner alone, dickhead. Wow, he's half dead. Damn, they killed Mission? Really? I get for not paying attention to her HP.
Yes?
Another wave! That miner's gonna fucking die. Yeah, he's dead! The game is constantly making my character attack the wrong Sand People warrior. I saved as many of these miners as I could. If that other guy had just pulled his blaster back out, he would have been fine.
Thanks for your help. I don't think we'll try holding this position for much longer. We're not soldiers. Did the company send you? It's about time they drove these animals out. Well, you've got a lot of work ahead of you. Do you know about that enclave in the south? Don't even try to go near it. They've taken all the Czerka weapons that were supposed to protect our sandcrawlers. That place is a fortress, a death trap. You'll have to find some way to sneak into the place. That is not my job. Just that they attack everything on sight. Well, I suppose they don't attack each other, but any outsider's as good as dead. The company tried to arm us and even set up remote self-powered turrets on the mining route, but that just made things worse. We're not soldiers. They still kill us and then take our weapons off our corpses. They even had the Jawas disable the turrets and set them around their enclave. It's like a fortress now. I don't know how you're going to break through all of that. Me, I'd sneak in. Well, actually, I'd just get back to Anchorhead. They use whatever they scavenge. They seem to hate our technology, but they love to turn it against us. That goes for blasters and turrets too, I guess. It's not like you need to be a genius to operate them. They probably don't even bother with special settings. They just watch for people approaching and switch them on.
Really?
Yeah, so do... the Jawas will salvage it eventually anyway. Then we can buy it back and start over. Makes sense to me.
Right. Parts, computer spikes, and advanced med pack. Good, I just lost a bunch of those. Honestly, I don't really know why these idiots are still standing around. I would be beelining it for the city. Cautiously, but I would be beelining it for the city. Because if you stay there, you're guaranteed to get attacked again and then die. Uh-oh. I'm under attack! Jesus. Okay. Ion grenades.
What?
Well, I'm down. Oh boy. Wow, okay. How are you still this close? they hit open air and they still killed her. None of their attacks actually hit her or made physical contact with her model. The game just declared that the end. Oh my fucking god, woman, will you shut up? I have had to hear her bitch about how her husband deserves to die 3 times. He doesn't deserve to die. You just needed to divorce him. Get over yourself.
Anyone out there?
Ready.
Anyone out there?
Yeah, we hear you.
Hold on there. How about...
What?
What if I just mess with them and don't care?
Hey there. Oh.
Coming.
What?
Thank you.
Oh.
Ready.
Data missing from prime values. Number progression? 13, 21 to 14. That one I genuinely don't know how to do.
Sure.
That was... You never...
She really was Jigsaw about that, too. That's the sad part. Okay. You can actually tell that Tanis doesn't have much health by the fact that he lived through only one explosion. And then his health was cut in half, but it barely affected us. A small group of sand people have ambushed you. They took her out already? I barely had one turn! They hit her with nothing but flurries and killed her instantly? I like how the game locked me in place right there. Did you see that? It locked me in place against the environment for no reason. It just decided arbitrarily, no, you actually are moving against something that isn't there, so you can't move. How did I get hit? By open fucking air? What hit me? Hey, look, taking damage made sense that time. Yeah, I can't beat these guys. Yeah, they all hit too fucking hard. They just demolished all three of my characters like they were made out of tissue paper. What the fuck is going on here, game?
Hello there. When you...
Like, seriously, what the fuck even happened there? Why did that happen? Why are they able to kill me so quickly? I get that they're all advanced enemies, but there's only 3 of them, and they can pile on 150 damage. Like, look at my health. I have 154 vitality. She has 102. He has 183. Their defense ratings are 28. Mine is 20, and they don't miss. That's where I'm having a problem understanding what's going on here. These guys don't miss. Why don't they miss? What allows them to just infinitely hit the target and not die? I'm trying to understand where the game's math logic is coming from, and there's nothing here to tell me why that makes sense.
Hey there. Oh. Well, she... Which... Ada... Just... Oh, wait.
Yeah, right. Scumbag must die protocol.
That was unpleasant, you know? Thanks, I'm heading.
They all even have energy shields, and there's no reason for them to have energy shields either. Alright, I need to head back to the ship and access a workbench, because there's no workbench out here for me to use. Yeah, that was bullshit. I get killed by 3 fucking Tusken Raiders running around with Kaffee sticks because apparently they're super ultra hardcore sand people warriors that are capable of killing Jedi and advanced combat assassins droids like they're nothing. Somehow that's supposed to make sense. It doesn't fucking make sense. They're also using energy shields, which I'm also going to point out. There's no way in hell they would be using energy shields. There really isn't. I don't think Candaris is magically going to do any better, but he carried me in the last time I had a major issue. So I guess we'll see. This is a pretty heavily upgraded lightsaber now. The dark side bonus I'm probably not going to get much out of, but having a +4 attack modifier isn't bad. And if I need, I also got a couple of other weapons. Because I got this upgraded, and then I enhanced a short lightsaber so that if I needed, I could do what I was going to do with that instead.
Good.
Okay, this is going to take care of some of my other problems. I will have at least one quest dealt with now, and part of this place explored. Activating a Mandalorian melee shield doesn't feel like it's going to do anything because these things are just way too powerful. But I have a couple of stupid ideas.
Huh? What?
Yep, I just needed to pump myself full of hardcore drugs. All to loot 35 credits and an adrenal strength. That was not worth it. The EXP intake was probably worth it. Okay. So let's go ahead and save again. Because now we have actually cleared that problem. Oh god. Oh, not again. These guys have minor injuries this time. That's kind of weird.
What?
Ready?
Yes.
Oh shit. Okay.
What? Mine. Successful attempt. Successful attempt.
Why did he get magically stunned just now? Why did he get magically stunned right there? He is doing shit for damage.
Set to maximum.
And he's insisting on shooting instead of healing. He's insisting on shooting instead of healing. He keeps shooting instead of healing himself. Or instead of shooting, or instead of firing the stun ray. Okay. Reload. Because the game is kind of cheating right now.
Huh?
Okay.
Master?
What?
Okay. Oh fuck, all of my buffs wore off right there. And the game killed me by refusing to let me move again. It just locked me in place again, out of the blue. I can't fight if I can't move. And the game's just like, hey, by the way, bro, you're funny. You get nothing. You fucking die.
Huh?
What?
That was what was happening. It didn't reset the buffs. I actually have to wait for the buff to be gone before I can buff again. Kind of annoying. I wanted to be able to end the stream on me being a little bit less annoyed and angry than I was the last time, because I tend to get pissed off sometimes when shit like this happens. And I'm like, I don't understand what I'm doing wrong here. The reality is that I'm not spamming the shit out of consumables because apparently the game really wants me to do that. And I don't feel like spamming the fuck out of consumables should be what the game tries to pressure me to do.
Huh?
Can he recover that? I don't think he can. Oh, yes. No, he detonated it with his face. That sounds about right. That sounds like my luck. Okay. Let's save again, because we cleared out those holy warriors. And those elite warriors. And the game seems to think that those guys are worth all of the pain and suffering and agony of just dying.
What?
Who are you? You would be right. Came out of nowhere. Wait, damn it. Here they come again. How did it...
Okay. There's another host of these guys. Being surrounded like this, my lightsaber should be hitting more than one of these guys. It doesn't because video games. That was almost my ass. Twice. Okay, we saved all 3 of the miners.
Thanks for your help. I don't think we'll try holding this position for much longer. We're not soldiers. Did the companies... Well, you'll have... Just at there. It's like... Yeah.
They should all be wiped out. Every last one of them.
The main reason why the Sand people are kind of at fault here is because a lot of these people that are coming into work, they really aren't aware of the entire situation and they just kind of work here. The Sand people don't care though. You trespass and you die. That's kind of how the Sand people view things. Damn, 45 damage. Damn! $45 damage is pretty hardcore. It's obvious. Somehow I did not hit that other raid in the tractor, and I don't know how. Yeah, just bring a Mandalorian along. That bitch will solve all your problems. Bring the Mandalorians to a fight if you want to see yourself through it. The worst musical you'll ever hear. So, due to my screw-ups, we had to redo this section like 3 or 4 times. You'll notice Force Heal costs way more Force points to use than just, you know, like any other Force power that you could be using. I don't know if another ambush is going to trigger, and if it does, I don't actually think I have enough buffer items to deal with it. Credits and advanced med tech. I want to deal with those enemies, but I don't think I can right now. Alright, I think a lot of the worst, fights are gone, so... I've heard worse. Glances Back at the Future musical. At the Back to the Future musical? Well, yeah! Yeah, I guess the Back to the Future musical was pretty bad. The problem that I'm having, I think, right now, though, is just that I don't think I should have taken a scout for this, because scouts are really good for a lot of their utilitarian abilities. You really only want to take a scout if you want to be a ranged character, though. You don't take a scout if you want to use a lightsaber. There are no finesse weapons and ability traits in this game. And that was my problem, was that I wanted to be able to show off the lightsaber in this game, point blank, and using it a lot with the main character. And I can't do that very easily. And I think a lot of that just has to do with the fact that the scout is not geared for this. If there was a respec system, I absolutely would be using it. But there's not. So what you, like, when you build a character, what you have is what you get. And that's it. So what I should have spec'd myself for was a variety of utilitarian skills and shit with, like, high intelligence, high wisdom, high charisma, and probably an emphasis on force powers as a scout rather than an emphasis on close combat. And I'm suffering for that. The Sand People have largely remained unexplored in the Star Wars universe for the most part, though. Oh no. Yeah, I'm out of Mandalorian melee shields. Oh boy. How am I going to do this? I'm positive this is not going to work. Verpine headband, Verpine headband. Maybe I just need to use the Sith assault gun. TS, uh-oh. Okay. I'm probably just doomed. That sounds like a you problem. I wish. Yep, I can't beat that fight. Okay. Well, unfortunately, that is where we have to end the stream. I am sad to say, because that just kind of was death and a half, which means there is one more frickin' group that I have to kill of elite, like super elite Tusken Raiders. I wonder.
Yeah, what are you... Tatooine is one big desert, with rocks sticking out. I heard that some of my people came here after the war, but I don't know what happened to them. The world of my clan, Ordo, was much like this. Dust basins and rock crags. But my world at least has some green around the equator. This place is just sand all over. There are some vicious people on this world, but the desert is the real enemy. Trips out in the desert, especially the deep desert, should be taken very carefully. You have anything else you want to ask? In those days, we were sweeping across the Outer Rim, destroying all who fought us. Young Mandalores would prove themselves in real combat with unknown opponents above 1,000 worlds. Each brought back stories of his achievements. I remember it well, orbiting high above a placid world, its defenses just stirring. As was tradition, I would go ahead of the first wave to find enemies in the thickest fighting. I remember sitting there in my armor, linked directly with the basilisk thrumming beneath me, my heart racing with fear of the coming battle. The doors opened in front of me, and the air was sucked out of the drop bay, scattering crystals of frozen vapor across my path. I can't describe what it feels like to look directly down at a world, falling continuously as you circle it, with barely 15 centimeters of armor plate protecting you. When the magnetic locks disengaged on my droid, I plunged out of the drop bay towards the battle that waited below. The exhilaration, the euphoria I felt as I streaked into the atmosphere, dodging self-guided projectiles and beam weapons, was unmatched. An 80-kilometer plunge through the atmosphere, dodging and weaving, the outside of my armor glowing like the sun with the heat of re-entry. And with barely 30 meters to spare, I twisted and skimmed the surface, firing at the giant beam generators that were in my path. The explosion from that sent shock waves that leveled the entire complex around it. It was the moment of my life. I'll never forget those times. But things are different now. We can't go on fighting the way we did.
There are too few of us left now, but I really don't want to talk about this anymore. I trust that... Is there something else? Your choice.
Acknowledgement.
Yes?
Thank you all very much for watching. If you want to see all the rest of my streams, please head over to YouTube and subscribe to Alpha Wolf. I've been Savage Hound Dusk, and I will see everybody next time on Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Hopefully, I'll do better.